she's actually proving her point by using the word obtuse. You know, it's like, you find a better word. But isn't that her way of saying we're just too smart for the voters?
No, I actually think she gets it. I do think I would not have used the word obtuse, because it's like, wait, what does that mean? Basically, you're saying just talk normal.
Yes.
Like to normal people. I read a ton of news, as you know, as I'm so prepared. But what I was going to say is that you read a lot about, the media's like hopeful splitting of the Republican Party and the big tent ripping apart. You don't read about it as much as with the Democrats, but it's there.
Yeah.
And she's probably trying to position herself to think about 2028, as are many others. And they're realizing that they don't have a real handle on middle America, and she's given it a shot.
Yeah, you know, Harold, if you're asking a Democrat to be real, direct, and relatable, aren't you asking them to be MAGA?
I think one could make a little bit of an argument that that's what real is and approachable and accessible is right now. But I agree with Dana. I think what Gretchen Whitmer is doing is brilliant. She'll get her wording right. She'll get the messaging right. But I think the country needs to see that they are Gretchen Whitmers, they're Andy Beshears, they're Wes Moores, they're Josh Steins. I think some of the names, nothing wrong with Shapiro and Newsom, but I think it's important for the country to see that we can speak like people in the middle of the country do. This is a governor in Michigan, Whitmer, who has reached out to President Trump. She's been criticized by Democrats for going to the White House to work to ensure economic investment and development in her state from the federal government. I think a military installation or two, and she got criticized by Dems. That's what we need more of. That's what the country wants more of. And frankly, as I've said many, many times before, President Trump is not a traditional Republican or a traditional Democrat. He is a new kind of party. And I think for Democrats to win in 2028, we're going to have to present something new. And Gretchen Whitmer, Governor Whitmer, is on to that.
Well, her first step in being like a relatable, normal person and a woman would be to defend women. And I don't remember her coming out super strongly against trans in sports or surgeries against kids, unless I'm mistaken. I mean, like I said, there's no internet mom. Like, why doesn't she put her money where her mouth is?
That's the thing, because the message isn't obtuse; it's explicit.
Mm-hmm.
And voters are rejecting it. She's made it quite clear, actually, that biological boys should play in women's sports, that we shouldn't respect the cops or even fund the cops, and the list goes on. You can't call yourself a big tent while punishing half the country and telling half the country that they are the problem. And I feel like she's doing exactly what a lot of members of her party keep doing, which is that when they win, they're like, oh yeah, the voters spoke. And then when they lose, they're like, the voters just don't understand. They don't get it. Big tent politics, in a nutshell, means that disagreement is allowed. And we have seen over and over again that you are punished, you are exorcised, you are excommunicated if you do not agree. So her 5-cent words aren't going to matter.
You know, Jesse, the problem is it's hard to be, real if you don't know what you are. Yeah. And I think everything to them is a role. Identity is something you apply to yourself for status. How do you get yourself out of that mess?
Well, you have to do things because they don't do anything with the money we gave them. We gave them so much money for the Green New Deal, Greg, and they built one windmill off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, and it broke the next year. And then they had to wait another year. It's back up, and it's not even operational and only powers 30,000 homes in Massachusetts. And then rates went up in Massachusetts. So you look at these people, I care about the environment. You can't even manage it. I want to like this woman. I'm trying to get into this woman. Her voice is a little annoying. I hate to say that about a woman, but I have to call balls and strikes. And don't use the word obtuse. It's one of those words you think you know what it is, but you want to just check to make sure you know.
You're like side chat.
Yeah, is she using it correctly? I don't know. Don't use that word.
She won the segment because we're talking about her. Go Big Gretch. Keep doing what you're doing.
Go Big Gretch.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.